user of Nintendo for so many years. I know a couple of people are going to tell me, I told you so many times. I know a lot of people are going to say that this is miscellaneous. But if you wanted to know what this rant is about, it's pretty much a Nintendo stress. But more importantly, day one releases of games or consoles that are being defective. So before we even start this rant, I might as well just give you a synopsis of what case if you want a clear information and what the hell is actually going on. So as you know me, I've been a huge Nintendo user for some time. I bought some DSi games. I even got the Nintendo DSi XL most of the time. And I've been a huge gamer enthusiast for over 2 many years in the making. So when I heard about the Nintendo Switch release, I decided to actually want to get it because one of my favorite games I have that was going to be released was Splatoon 2. And remember, this was the day when Splatoon 2 was going to be released. That was before. So the game of the console was a huge pain in the ass because the problem with Nintendo is that they wanted to become a huge toy company and only make it better for pre-orders. So if you actually wanted to get the console, you had to pre-order it. But the problem is that I pre-ordered some games before, and sometimes GameStop ways to screw it up. I don't usually pre-order for GameStop, but that's not the point. So I just wait till the console is actually released because I figured that with the pre-orders, because I also will post that the pre-orders will become more defective. There will be dead pixels, that there will be a blue screen. That's just what it turned out. And I figured, well, pre-ordering might be a bad idea. We might as well just wait until they actually fix it. Because most of the malfunctions usually happen to Nintendo ambassadors who usually got it audio. And frankly, it's because of that. Now, when I waited till Master Sword, it was so difficult to even get the Switch. The problem with that logic is that apparently all the major retailers have a 24-hour retail, so they allow people to get the Switch for 1 a.m. How in the actual fuck you even get that? And I was so pissed because I'm not one of those people that wake up early in the morning to get a console, even if that is overpriced. I have the money for it back then, and that was pretty much 2017. But the major problem is that it was so difficult. So I searched every nook and cranny. I took the full trade to Target. I had to go to two different GameStop locations. I didn't have to go to Manhattan. I was in next to the Bronx, next to Inwood Park. So most of the time, so when I talked to my Target provider, they have this. So when I went to, let's say, the GameStop next to Yankee Stadium, they said that they do have supplies, but only for pre-order. So apparently they might have a new stock for tomorrow. Well, when we talk on the phone, that was completely bullshit. Apparently, my local Target from next to Inwood Park has a copy. Now you might be figuring, well, that's good, but you could beat that one. Because Nintendo, as before, the cluster fucks at all, they only give them 12 stocks, so they only give a crumbs. So there was only 12 copies on the Nintendo Switch. 4 near current ones because I wanted one that could be easy to identify. Well, they do have it, but I have to get up. I wake up as I had to wake up at 6 in the damn morning to get it, because it was also the same day when the NES Classic Edition was being released, and so many people wanted that console already to the point. It was mostly filled with senior citizens. It was filled with parents in the 40s buying their sons who's 17 and still in high school. So, and you could tell that there was a line, and people all started a line. And it comes to the point where the actual employees have to tell that not the cause mayhem. Because I got my stress at March the 4th, the same day after it was released. Hardy har. So, yeah. So pretty much, I use my Nintendo Switch for over approximately 6 months. Since 2014, I used my Nintendo Switch from March 4th all the way to November, which is Thanksgiving. Well, apparently, I never have an issue with my Switch. The thing about being defective before I started with repair is that it never becomes so defective. It was never defective for 6 months. You see, what we're actually accomplish is that wherever I finish using the Switch, I usually just cover this. Now, this is on rest mode. I figured that I broke the federations, but that was not true because most of the time it wasn't that much powerful. Because I've been using this for 6 months, and the reason I even covered the Switch because one, if I didn't want to get dust inside my Nintendo Switch, because in my house there's no ventilation, no filters around the house, so it was easy for dust to accumulate. And if you have too much dust, it might cause the fan or the circuit breakers to break. And I didn't want the CPU to be clogged with dust inside, and how to unscrew knowing damn well that my save data was supported. And due to the fact I didn't want to cause some trouble, I had to use this cloth to cover off my Switch to prevent dust. Because if I have dust, granted, my house is kind of dusty, but it's still but I had to take precaution. And this was on the same day when I got the Switch. I did because I didn't want to use my Nintendo Switch. Because the problem is that during March the 4th to March the 3rd, it was the same year when scalpers were overcharging the Switch. Now, originally the Switch was only $300, but since scalpers want to become the unqualified son of the bitches, they overcharged it $400 on eBay. It also comes to the point when you go to the Facebook marketplace, you got a lot of scammers. And the thing is that you don't even know if the seller who sells the newly approved Nintendo Switch is just selling you fucking rocks or fucking dumbbells inside the box to give it an illusion. So you be scammed about. And sometimes there's a lot of scammers that trick people that they have the Switch inside it, but it's completely bullshit. But it's also bullshit for Nintendo to sell in crumbs. So after I use it, that's when I have the issues. Such as the blue screen, the logo not getting passed to the Switch screen, vice versa. And also the Joy-Con was kind of separate and used, so I couldn't even get it to work. So now, because of this issue has been active for so many years. My Nintendo Switch has been giving me the Nintendo logo and this disappears completely and won't even go past the Nintendo logo, go to the Switch logo. So it was stuck. And because of this, I had to go to my local office supply store, go to Staples, spend $18. I had to spend on cardboard, bubble wrap, Scotch tape, crystal clear, mind you, accessibility, mind you, and I had to spend a couple of bucks. It took me 2 hours and a half to get MC repaired because I had to return my broken Switch to UPS. And once I finished with that procedure, it took about 7 days. The other 3 days took about because the thing about it is that because I had to call Nintendo for schedule, and the customer services that take too much of the time to get it fixed. Because of my action, since I am half Korean and half British, they can't even understand my action. So I had to go in a slow tempo to the point. Granted, I'm from the UK, but it's still unacceptable that the customer service couldn't understand my accent. But that's not the point. What makes it more worse is that I had to give them my address. Then I had to call UPS and pay them to ship my fitness because apparently there's a shipping fee. because the Nintendo North America headquarters is in East Syracuse. And since I live in Washington Island, it was so much convenient to even send mail with that. So it took 2 days for the concert to reach East Syracuse, then 3 days for the stretch, and then 1 day to inform them that the stretch has been paired. But the only difference is that all my save data that I used for my stretch for the past 6 months made it Splatoon 2 with the Super C cell, and then they didn't say that it was malfunction, even though that was a complete yellow bullshit. But now the Nintendo Switch has in save data. The only good thing is that my account has not been deleted and I can use this on myself back up. That was good, but man, is my save data is gone. And now I have. So on the 7th day, which is Wednesday, yesterday, I got my Switch back. The only difference is all my save data is gone. So pretty much I lost all my opponent data when I was level 23 on Splatoon 2, rank 8 on ARMS, and now I lost my save data for Super Mario Galaxy, which I had to restart again. The only good part about it is that I used to have a guide that I bought from GameStop, so kudos for me. But the only issue that I want to conceive so far is the idea of the day one releases. Now that I give you a user synopsis of what I have so far, I want to talk about the whole day one issue, because I realize that it's not the Nintendo Switch that has these type of issues. It does work, granted, but the console still works. Besides that, I can't use it put on rest mode. I had to turn it off whenever I'm finished using. I got some free applications and took a pain in the ass. Yeah, so it's fixed, but I got all my opponent save data, and now I had to take actual precaution. And the funny part about it is that once I got my Switch finished, I called Nintendo again, and it took me a long time to get to customer services because there's so many people contacting them. Either they have their units defective, non-defective, but apparently other people have some issues with the Nintendo Switch. So I called Nintendo because I used this console for 6 hours in terms of esports. They say that they have no evidence saying that how many times it's the last time. So I ended up assuming that this was the DLC fault. It couldn't be me because I used this cloth. I covered it on my dress on top of it because I didn't want to get dust. And frankly, when I call Nintendo, they say that when I actually questioned about if 6 hours too long, because when I used the Nintendo Switch, it was overheating to the maximum extent. Because apparently when you consider cheap plastic from the dock, I figured that maybe it might be some sort of heating issue should not be doing. Well, I contacted Nintendo America and they say that they have no evidence about how many hours is mostly appropriate. So you can just pray for the longest on and but he did recommend that I should take notes, which I doubt I would even help because my PS4 has been overheating to the point. Same with the PS3, but the PS4 has been overheating for a lot, and I never have an issue where I have a blue screen. My PS4 has been the same for 4 years, so I doubt it has something to do with the overheating issue. The biggest issue is just that when I asked, have you had similar issues in the past with other customers that have been complaining? And he says that no, that was a good question. And then we just say on goodbyes. Now, what's my point? Well, this is why day one releases, and for y'all you skyboys who buy the console in bulk, you do is that you buy the console on day one. And the funny part is that I bought the console on day one because the problem with waiting till the last minute is that Nintendo's got to charge it with online services, because usually with Nintendo for the past consoles, the internet connection is always free when you play multiplayer on Wi-Fi. So it was always free for the Wii U, But I did, but I only, but I didn't want to wait till the last minute because, hey, even if they might, we don't even know if the Nintendo Switch is going to be restocked because nobody talked yet. They might contribute to the Skyboards and might keep it in secret. So they might contribute to the Skyboards. There may be cases of a Walmart. Hell, with Toys R Us closing their own stores, they're going on a business. It may not be the economy, but I really doubt it. But part of the reason that I don't see the whole point by day one, other I have the experiences, is just that I've noticed that a lot of day one releases are usually half-assed. And people say that, well, you don't understand. You usually have to watch them at a sort of daylight. You can't really go hard on Nintendo. They did their best. They tried to give you the best console, and you're just being ungrateful. Here's the saying. I bought the PS4 on day one. This console, this is the 500 gigabyte version, mind you. This is not the Pro where it has 1 terabyte. This is the 500 gigabyte, not terabyte. And I bought this console the same day it was actually released. I got this game with the first Destiny game, and I used this for 4 years, and never have I ever got it. This was on day one, the same day the PS4 was released. There was no Skyboards or charging it because they released it in bulk. Because Sony released the PS4 in bulk. I didn't have to worry about it, so duh. Same with the PS2. And the worst part is that you cannot tell me that Nintendo is quote unquote trying the best. Sony has tried the best with the PS4 and they never have any issues. I mean, the only issues that it has is the 500 gigabyte limitation. But that was before the Pro was released. A lot of games was trying to keep it under the limit because there's not many games that would support the 500 gigabyte until the terabyte. And honestly, I honestly digress. Same with the Xbox 360. This thing has been for use for 4 years, 5 years, never having a blue screen, and that shit overheats. So it has something to do with a half-assing in the console. I bought it on day one because I didn't want to deal with the scum bullshit. And if I wait day after day, hell, even out of the holiday season, it's still difficult to even find it because the other douchebags are returning the consoles to the stores. And it sucks, but the thing is that it shouldn't be that way. I never understand why day one releases are always half-assed. You are a multi-dollar million company that has been respected by the community for over 20 years in the making. And you're telling me that you made a console that you knew was going to overheat. If you get the comparators for Sony, the PS4 has been overheating. That was their fault, and the fan has been signing solidarity to the point where it's been much similar as a JetBlue airplane. But the difference between the PS4 and the Switch is that at least with the Switch, at least with the PS4, it might overheat, but it never breaks. I never have a day when I had to call Sony and tell them I need to get my PS4 repaired. I never have an incident when I had to wait 7 days, 2 weeks to get my console fixed. That was never the case with the Xbox 360 and the PS4. It was the case for the Switch because for 6 months it couldn't even last 1 year. 1 freaking year. And the thing is by that day one releases only work depending on which company. So I wanted to know is that why is it that the PS4, which was released on day one of the launch, manages to do well compared to the Switch, which was only used for 6 months? Because it's bad enough that Nintendo's pandering with Skyboards that keep overcharging and create artificial inflation, mind you. It's also worse that you have a contract that doesn't even work. And the worst part is that I spent $300, $299 plus taxes. And now I can't trust with this Switch that I got repaired. Now I had to get a brand new Switch, but this time I had to get it on Nintendo World, and that shit is in Rockefeller Center. So I had to wake up at 4 a.m. because I live in Roosevelt Island. I had to wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning to go to the console because during these sort of bitches, you see a lot of people sitting in line, get into the console, and just go to bulk because Nintendo wants to become the toy shop, even though the shop still might as well set in bulk. The unit has been selling greatly. And it's worse for me because if you spend that much money, have to wake up at 5 in the damn morning, you expect the product to be functional to your own liking. You spend all your money that you spend Mondays to Fridays, try to own that paycheck that you work your ass off, spend that cost that you deserve to get because you work for it, and then after 6 months you get disappointed. I still see other people that have worked first during the time my Switch was broken, and I want to know is that how the hell did you just manage to become working perfectly while my Switch is pretty much fucked up? I don't get it. These are the same people that bought it on day one, but is it because of the favoritism with the ambassador program, or the fact that it might get a place by art? I don't know, but either way, with this, all my save data is pretty much gone. I have a point of save data from Spawn 2 which I tried to get, and now with spreadsheets going out, I have to redo the same spreadsheets. I still have Nintendo 8. I still have data. I got this game on launch date. This was day one. At least then, the games were usually better on cartridge. Rank 8. I was rank 8. I was kicking ass with this game. But not anymore. And hell, with Forza 5.0, I know the player base is gonna be difficult. So, even though the game is kinda unfair and sucks, I spend more time Street Fighter. Give it all the titles, but the game is shit anyway. My point is that I am sick of day one of releases being more half-assed. I'm sick of companies overcharging $60 for retail price for a day one pass that they knew it's gonna be broken. And I all these first party AAA companies, they always half-ass day one releases. I just don't know why. What is the whole point of releasing day one? I get it. That's part of the whole point of capitalism. But be realistic for one moment. It is not capitalism, and most of the day one releases could include some DLC or exclusive content you can get from the regular non-day one editions. So, what I want to know is that why is it that whenever a company releases a day one release of a game on console, it's always half-assed? The game is not either broken, and half of the time you have some defected units. This is the same shit that happens with the Xbox Scorpio, with Xbox One X, Because when people bought it on day one, there was other issues of not turning on. The fan will usually generate solidarity, and half of the time, the Xbox One Elite controller has some connectivity issues, and has some connectivity issues. I thought the EULA was shit, but this is one of those things, so I'm not the only one that sees that. And the worst part is that I was excited with the Switch, that I even got these two amiibos that were given a code. I even got the guide for Splatoon 2 before the updates. So I had to spend $20 for these things. It was so difficult to even get a hold of these. And the problem I have with day one release is just that wherever a AAA company, not a first party company, releases a game or a product or a console, that they wash their asses, knowing damn well that they show prototype or test one the console they release it. The only way I could see the Trish being more successful on launch day is if they actually delayed it. If they knew that the ambassadors were having issues when if they knew the console was going to be defective in later days, when it's going to be dead pixels coming around, why did they delete it? If they were trying their best to give the best product to the consumers, imagine just delay the releases and just reschedule the release date. I don't get it, because if you have issues where there was a blue screen, the shortcuts are not connected perfectly, you might as well just reschedule the release date of this console in 2017 and actually does test run at research and actually document the issues before you action and see how you can fix it. That's the same with day one. A lot of these developers or companies never playtest the consoles. If you knew there's some issues, make sure you test run, document the issues, and fix it. Because you just shoot yourself in your ass. You shoot yourself in the foot. When you do this shit, you not only pisses off me, but you only piss off the customers that give you most support. Nintendo. Your customers have been fans. A lot of these companies don't realize this, but most of your consumers have give you more respect for over so many years. They give you more respect when they bought the GameCube. People love the GameCube, even though it was doing so poorly in terms of sales. People love you for the DS Lite. People love that shit. People love you with the 3DS. Hell, even on the launch date, the processor was not that superior. Even on the 2DX XL, people love you for that shit. People still buy that. That was the best price ever. And now you disappoint all your fans by showing a piece of half-assed hardware that has some defective units. And now you have to have issues. You have to deal with customer complaints and repair units that take several days. That's why customer service has been busy. Because a lot of people has been having their pictures. And I'm not the only one that have this type of issues before. I'm not. And I know people are not going to heed my warnings or actually pay attention to my precautions, but I don't give a shit. Whatever you want to do it in your life, it's not my choice, but here's my warning. Stop pre-ordering. Stop getting your consoles on launch day. Why do you even need it? Why are you scalpers overcharging it? Don't even tell me that it's supply and demand. You know that's bullshit. You just commit artificial inflation. And the people who actually test this, it's not supply and demand. Then again, the scalpers are idiots because they say the defective units and they're getting scammed, but who's the scammer of them all? We don't know. The point is that you should stop buying day one. Yes, I get that scalpers are being douchebags, but then again, the scalping will be done. It sucks that you have to pre-order instead of buying the console. Even though GameStop has in stock, they still consider you pre-ordered, which is douchey. But who can you blame? You should stop buying day one releases of a game or console, because one, you may never know if the game, whatever console it is, will have some glitches. You may never know. The only reason why Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5 was terrible at the launch day, because people were watching to get a new Tony Hawk game. They were so impatient. And when they finally got the game for impatient reasons, the game was glitchy. But when it was passed, the game was mostly functional. It was way better. And this is why you should never buy on day one. If you just wait until they fix the issues later on, you might never have these issues before. And what I hate about day one releases is that a company will always half-ass it the only way we could actually combat this issue is that we have to wait till they fix the issue. I don't know why you morons need to get it on day one on the full series as release. You wouldn't even know it's like if that concept has been defective. You guys should understand the fact that day one releases will always become more half-assed. I know this from heart because I am the jackass that bought the console, but that bought the Nintendo Switch at day one. And thank God I didn't buy the Xbox One X on day one. Because frankly it has some defectivity issues. Half of the time it was having defectivity issues since the beginning. Hell, the Xbox One Elite controller was more problematic. But people bought on day one because it was binary controller. It was the best of the kind. It has Bluetooth features. But that's what you get. And so I want to blame the company who makes the half-assed products. But even then, I always doubt that Nintendo is going to watch this video and take it to the grain of salt. They're not going to listen. They may not even care. They don't really give a shit. A lot of these AAA companies, hell, even for the company that originated in Japan, I sincerely doubt, 100% doubt Nintendo. But if it did, they might take this video from the grain of salt. My advice to you is that day one releases should never have existed. Because if you're a game developer and you make day one additions to physical copies, do yourself a favor and actually playtest your game. Because why do you developers still consist on making day one releases? Because we wanted to add a new audience. We want to create more hype. If we make a day one and include exclusive content, that a lot of people will buy it. Nobody wants to buy the regular retail version because retail does bullshit. So we might as well add a day one edition. And to me, that's a lot of bullshit because you had an exclusive DLC that you can't get from the regular.
When's the next day came out on PS4?
From the original base game. What's the whole point? You could just put the DLC on the PSN store or the eShop and people let's get the DLC. Because I don't understand why you need to spend another $70 for the day one edition. That's bullshit. Because here's the thing. We knew you gotta half-ass the game. It's gotta be buggy, glitchy, full of defaulting, the controls will not respond, glitches, lag, even from a multiplayer perspective. I don't even know what's the whole point, but use the sticks. And for the consumers who think that by day one is supported, it's not. The collector's edition is supported because you should get a better bargain. You have the statues, the figurines, and the steelbook. But if you buy the game on day one, knowing damn well that you could get the DLC later when it was released, you still treat your ass into a better ultimatum. I don't know what to say, but if you people are buying day one releases on launch day, you gotta get a half-ass type. Because the game will be buggy, glitchy, unresponsive, unplayable, not even gonna be functional. The same would be on a console that has been half-assed. Because if you buy, let's say, the Xbox One X on launch day, it's gonna be defective, has some already issues, then you have to spend 1 hour and a half trying to get your package shipped, call UPS, and have to reschedule to get the package, then spend 7 days, which is 2 weeks, to get it repaired. So all in all, you just committed.
Not a Rockstar game.
You just committed to a suicide mission to get your console repaired and your game repaired. So I don't even know. And you best bet your ass if your console has a warranty, which I have so far. So this is go to both parties where you're the game developer. To any AAA game developer, I want you stop making day one releases. Because when you get the game on launch day, on the first day the game will be buggy, and it was the most unacceptable part about it is that you have to wait probably 2 months or 2 weeks until they make a patch, which is unacceptable because you should just fix the game on launch day. But then again, what you
Rockstar
get.
don't rush their games.
That's what you get when you watch your games to the point. And to your consumers, save yourself the hassle and don't buy the day one edition. You can always get the DLC later when you get the store. Because I still don't understand why, in this day and age, hell, in 2018, why is that when I get day one releases, they was also buggy, unfinished, and unplayable? Hell, No Man's Skies was the perfect example of a day one release. People are so excited because of hype. Well, don't believe the hype, because a lot of people, including IGN, compared that the game was just lackluster and has no content. They had to add content 5 months later after the release of the game. And that's proved to me how bad the day one edition is. Why is it? And there's no point. This is why indie games are always successful, because with indie games, they always take their time to actually approve it. But with AAA titles such as Skyrim or Destiny or any other game that was released on day one, it's always half-assed. And I don't understand why. And to even add more intrigue to the insult, you have to spend $60, no, $80 for the deluxe DLC edition, and you have a game or console that has been defective. This never happens with Sony or Microsoft, or maybe, of course, maybe it did happen to Microsoft with the Xbox One X, but as always, Nintendo has been fucked up. It's bad enough that they had to implement a gimmick to the console, but it's also worse that they have to half-ass the console and force people to pay. Now, you didn't have to buy it, granted, but $300 is that so pricey to the point. And the worst part is that the worst part is that after they fix the issues, they still reach an overpriced cardboard, which is the Nintendo Apple. But I will buy it anyway because I'm a sucker for art crafts and paper craft. So, tomato, tomato. Case in point, if you people wanted a better experiences, always wait after the release date. Wait 3 months or 2 months until they fix it, then buy the console when they fix the issues beforehand. If you got it as a first day release, you're gonna have some issues. The console is gonna be defective. Even the controllers have some issues, but it is what it is. So that's pretty much that. The only advice that I can say so far is that be smart. Do your actual research. Because when I got this for 7 days, these are brand new. So I have assumptions that it does bring me a new switch. Because there's no sponsors out here. So they'll send me a new unit. But it is what it is. So the only ultimatum that I have so far is that don't buy day one. Don't even buy it. If you people wanted a better experiences as this,
My PS4 is day one, it's loud as fuck.
you might as well just wait. If you buy on day one, you gotta have a half-ass time, and you gotta be pissed off. Then you have to call customer services, which you gotta be placed on hold as expected. And then you pretty much have to pay in the ass. Vice versa. What can I say so far? I don't really know. Yeah. The only thing I could say so far is that 99% of the time, if you want a console that badly, I suggest that you should, not buy it. Trust me, day one editions always half-ass, but the only thing I can say so far is that you get what you pay for. Trust me. Because I have even recorded gameplay footage of this console, and has to be ultimatum. But it is what it is. So yeah, don't be a jackass. Spend your money well. And now I have to order my new toothpaste to have to replace. The only thing I can say so far is that at least Nintendo America actually made it an attempt. I am grateful for that. And before you say, well, just repair it on your own. I'm not a technician. That's the problem. But, tomato. I got it fixed. But I still have to start from the beginning. And I know damn well that it's going to take a long time to get to level 23. Oh, you have a 50. Oh, you have a 60 on Splatoon 2 with a recent update. So, hope you guys don't fuck yourself to the reservation now by day one releases. And hope you guys have a better holiday. The moral of the story, if you want something badly, just wait until they actually fix it. There's be no point that you should spend $300 as expected. Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to play the X-Files. Well, Tad, signing off with a PSA to not become a huge dumbass or a jackass when it comes to the consumer world. Peace out and sign off.